Next Play Investors. What's the next play? Next play investors.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to Next Play Sundays. Today's Sunday is a great Sunday, and it's going to be a little bit different because we got some other things going. But Next Play Sunday is the mastermind where everybody gets together on Sunday and we talk about everything about investments, anything from the stock market, real estate, credit. Anything that got to do with dealing with investment, infinite banking, all the way to it. We got a bunch of different people in our group that actually do these things. We're not just sitting here talking about it. We're actually doing it, and so we always pretty much trying to be on the cutting edge and learning how to make generational wealth. Just so happened this week, everybody's out of town. So you got me. Well, Nicole's checking in. Hold on one second. So you got me, and we gonna do this whole thing live. So hey, Nicole, how you doing? Um, how you doing, Nicole? Cause I'm already live. I figured I didn't know if anybody was checking in. Can you hear me? All right, so we back to it. But so what we gonna do this week? Basically, is gonna be a real quick thing. I'm gonna record a whole show on options and explain to you what we finna get into. So that's one of the things that we actually finna do today. And the thing about options is, and you're gonna hear more about it on Next Play for the next couple of weeks, because we're gonna really talk about how to really make sure that we, can learn and teach everybody how to do options. Options has become a thing with us because there's a way and a strategy to be able to make money off options, and it's consistent money. We're not going to say too much as far as like how consistent it is, but it's consistent money, and we pretty much know exactly how to make it work. So I'm gonna kind of go over some topics about what we're studying right now, how options work, and what you're doing. And last week I brung up a chart that I couldn't get to show, so we're gonna try to show that real quick, and then we're gonna pretty much call the actual whole thing as far as like for the meeting tonight, unless we got some other stuff joining in. But right now we got Nicole, she out riding, so we ain't gonna really get too much into it. But as everybody kind of already know, options is the thing that we that you're actually into, and a lot of people want to know what it is. So we're gonna talk about it a little bit tonight and kind of go over what an option is and how we actually starting to see how to use options and be able to make money with them. And so we're gonna kind of go into it. We talk about it a lot. An option contract is where you don't physically own the stock or the underlying equity, but you actually place a bet on it. And when you place a bet on it, you don't actually have it yet. But if it hits your what they call a strike price, in some cases, if you're buying a call, it actually is going to trigger. You have the option to buy the actual stock at your strike price. Also with a put, if it hits the put, you actually automatically pretty much have to buy at the strike price that you put it on. But what happens is you can trade these things in and out, and you don't have to actually put up as near as much money. Options cost a percentage less than what the stock does. But the crazy thing, we got some other stuff in it, and it's more advanced. And I'm gonna let another member talk about it when we get everything going next week, as we kind of go into options. But it's another thing called covered calls, covered puts, and all these different things that you'll see in terminology pretty soon. But the thing about options is you can take options and you can basically buy options and trade them and actually make almost some guaranteed money. Nobody can predict how the market's going to go, so you always got to make a guess. So here's for why we're going to go back to talking about charts again this year and start showing charting more on the mastermind, because a lot of people don't really, you know what I mean, actually get a chance to chart. They don't really actually sit down and chart. And that's the way options will pay you. You got to know how to chart your stocks. You got to know how to chart your plays, because if you don't know how to look at the chart, you won't know which way to really buy to actually make your option play beneficial. I'm gonna bring something up real quick because I already had it up, and then we're gonna kind of go from there. And then we'll kind of show you. We'll kind of get into the whole conversation a little bit, and it's gonna be pretty simple. I already got it up, so we're gonna try to go back over here again, and I'm gonna try to bring it up. It don't like me for some reason. It won't let me do it that way. It won't let me do it that way. All right, so we're gonna have to go. We're gonna take a little quick second, and we're gonna go another route with this, because that way we can actually show exactly what's going on. All right, so what we're gonna get into, and it's real simple about what we're gonna talk about for the next couple of weeks, and it's really, for everybody to really get a chance to see. Uh, it's like options, puts and calls, and we're gonna get a kind of real breakdown of how this works, because we're gonna talk about it, and it's also the reason why I've been telling everybody, like, I'm doing this new service where I'm trying to make money every with my couple of hours to be able to buy these options and calls, just because it makes a lot of sense when you start to really look at it. And the numbers are what matter more than anything, because you really only need $400 to make this work. $400, and you can turn it into cash flow. And these are hypothetical. I am not a financial advisor. Anything that you see here is for educational purpose and entertainment only. You must consult a fiduciary before anything. But it's a good cash flow model. So you can take $400, and $400 can really do a whole lot when you really look at it, because for $400 you can buy a call option. And basically, a call option is a contract that gives the buyer the option or right to purchase a security such at a specific stock as a specific price. So if you put in a call option to buy a stock at a specific price, your call option is going to get you to be able to buy the stock at your price. So you basically going to be setting the market at your price. Goes back to reading stocks, go back to reading the charts, because if you can read the charts and you can actually do them, you can be able to understand how this whole thing works. And so that's why we say a call option. A call option is basically a option contract where you say, I believe this is going to be at this price, and I will buy this, and I want to buy at this price, and you put your money up, and you pay the fee, what they call, um, you pay the premium. We'll talk about that some more too. You pay the premium, and they sell you the option. You don't own the actual stock, but you own a option to buy. So 100, you have to buy 100 shares of the stock. So when we look at it, you can buy a call option, and that contract it gives you the right to be able to buy the stock at that price. But you also can buy what they call a put option. You see what I mean? And the put option, it basically says it allows the holder to sell a specific security asset at a specific strike price. So you can buy a put that you're gonna sell these shares at a specific stock price, and it could be lower or higher, whichever one you want, whichever one you like. You basically gonna do it. But one thing about it, most puts are usually to see the stock price go down. But the crazy part about options is you can actually go and flip between the two. Even in a bad market, you can still make money because you're not buying the stock, so it makes it so much cheaper. So instead of having, if you had to go buy 100 shares of a stock, a stock that's $3, you're gonna have to spend $300 just to buy it. That same stock option price may be $29. And so you just spend $29 to get the trade. All you trying to do is hit a number. You're not in love with the stock. You trying to make sure the stock produces a profit. So this is where you get into puts at. And so, you really get a chance to understand like that's the whole thing behind options. You know what I'm saying? And so options, as we sit around and talk about them, options, how they actually work and what it all actually goes on, options are a good thing. What's up, Reggie, man? How you doing? I'm glad to see y'all join, man. I guess Reggie can't hear me, but options. When I'm gonna put this over so y'all can see it too. One second. Um, Give me a second, everybody. We working this thing tonight because want everybody to see. I don't know if y'all can y'all see that? Can y'all see that? Can y'all see that? All right. Well, we at this thing. So we talking about call option. A call option is a contract to do that. So this is where I'm gonna show you a breakdown of how much money you can possibly make doing calls, and we're gonna talk about this for the next couple of weeks because this is the new way of actually making some money and creating a cash flow. And like I said earlier, um, before everybody got in. Hold on one second, Reggie. Give me 1 second. Let me check something. Y'all came in. I set up a little bit different. Uh, Hold on 1 second. Can you hear me now, Reggie? Reggie.
Yes.
All right, cool. So, all right. So, you know what? Since y'all just came in, I'm gonna back up just a little bit. Can you see now? Can you see now, Reggie?
I yeah, I mean I can hear you and I can see this call option thing here.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. All right. So, like I said, now I'm gonna kind of give you what everybody online can hear. Y'all could just came in. I had set it up different because I was gonna play some videos. But now that y'all here, cool. Glad to see y'all. Happy Sunday. Um, so we're talking about options, and the thing about options is there's some people that's associated with Next Play. There's some people outside of Next Play, and this has been going on for a very long time. And so somebody bring it to somebody's attention, and other people have started, and we start to really figure out how you can make money with options. Reggie, I'm sure you should with call options and put options as well. And Nicole, I'm kind of gonna show you. I don't know if you can hear me now, but with options, they have a strategy pattern where you can make money off of it. The bigger the amount of money that you actually have, as far as in your kitty, you can really continue to make money for a very, very long time. So what we've come up with is like, and this is why y'all hear me talking about doing the service, like I said, with DoorDash on my spare time, and why I'm trying to grow my account because I've sat down and looked at it myself. I ain't gonna say we. I've sat down and looked at it myself, and I figured this out. But somebody else is already has already did it before me, so I don't take credit because some other people were doing it before me, and I figured it out how it actually can help and how you can build money. So we're gonna get into it. And Reggie, I think, can you hear me good? Because we got this stock, and I'm finna fade in. So Reggie, we got this stock that I got from some people, and they told me about it, and they've actually talked about it on the show. And
Uh-huh.
this,
Hey,
this
I can hear you, but
mm,
your screen seems really cropped in. I see 3 blocks. At the top, I see call at 250. At the bottom, I see months equals, and then I can't see past it.
you can't.
It's like a block.
It's cropped in. You have
Yeah.
to zoom it out.
Oh, so
Maybe control minus or something.
nah. So nah. It's I can't see what y'all see. I can't see. I don't know why I can't see what y'all see. I changed some stuff because I thought everybody was gonna what you call it, but I can't see. I don't. So what? So y'all just see the three squares?
Right. And your square is right, and your square is in the middle.
Oh, that's the layout on y'all screen. You have to go down to the 3 dots and make it a different layout.
I'll just change the layout.
That's y'all layout on your side.
Oh yeah, because mine is on auto.
Yeah, that's y'all
layout. If you put it, Reggie, on Spotlight, you'll see it like a PowerPoint.
Yeah, that's on y'all side.
I'm looking for it. Where's that at?
It's gonna be the 3 dots right there.
3 dots in the bottom.
It's next to like it should be like next to like the red end.
In the screen?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm looking.
So do you see where the raise your hand is?
Yep.
Keep going to the right, keep going, and then you'll see the 3 dots.
More options.
Mm-hmm. And then just go to change layout, and then just, if you want to put it as Spotlight or sidebar, you can do sidebar too.
Okay.
But if you do sidebar,
I don't really mess with Google too much. I'm usually in Zoom. So this is the equivalent of a screen share.
To a certain extent, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Cool.
So,
all right.
You know what I mean? What we got is, some people have figured out how to do this, and it's been going on for a long time. So, just to catch everybody up, this is what we was talking about last week. When I was saying, I gave y'all the actual website out that I was going to let you see called Option Strat. So this was the beginning of what we were talking about last week, because basically what I'm trying to do, I'm basically gonna start showing y'all what's really what's going on, but so you can actually have it yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because anybody can do this, and the crazy part about it is this is a whole another side of trading that probably nobody even really told anybody about, because of the fact that you can make a lot of money, and this is actually like part of one of Warren Buffett's strategies for his actual stock, because you can technically own the stock. And so what you see on the screen right there, that's a company called BBIG. And BBIG is one of the stocks. The stock right now, give me 1 second. The stock right now is trading at $2.50, right? So in the depiction of what we're looking at, the stock, you want to place a call at $2.50. So what I'm trying to pull up now, I'm doing it another way. What I'm trying to do is I'm gonna bring it up so you can actually see, you know what I mean, the actual page. Because in Option Strat, that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna be able to go in and look at what the actual properties is, and you're gonna be able to see the actual numbers of what you could possibly make on your actual option. Because see, one of the biggest things about options is you got to know when to sell, when not to sell, when to actually get in, when to get out. You know what I mean? And so that's one of the hardest parts, because it ain't just do it and everything good. You know what I'm saying? It's not just that. You got to be able to know what you're doing. But the cool part about this option is, if this option, and I'm actually, y'all got to be able to see it over here on my side. I'm gonna fade it in now. Can y'all see that?
Yes.
Y'all can see that clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you make it a little bigger?
Give me 1 second. I'll make it a little bit bigger. Y'all
Okay,
gotta
yeah,
work.
because it's a lot clearer now.
All right, so that made it bigger. Can y'all see that?
Thank you.
That look bigger?
Yeah, it's better.
All right. So what you got is what they got is called a loan call. So if you had, let's just say $400. Y'all see me put $400 right there? So at the top where you see where it says budget, I'm putting $400 on, right? And so I'm gonna put $400 in there, and I'm gonna show y'all. Do y'all see it updated on y'all side?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you. So for that $400, if y'all, as long as y'all can see it, you know what I'm saying? Like the $400, you're basically, it's telling you right here. You're gonna and on an April 1st call. Now that's the other thing about the dates. If you was to buy this option tomorrow, and April 1st was the call, which is basically roughly a week from now. This is showing you how much profit you can potentially make on the call already. This is for a call. You got a potential to make $57.95 on that call of $400. So if that actual particular option is exercised, that's the maximum you can make in a week. So in a week you can flip your $400 and make $57 just by having it in the market. You got covered calls. That's a whole nother thing. We're not gonna really get into it. But even on a secured put, and we're gonna talk about puts in a minute, they're gonna give you money and you're gonna still profit from the put if it doesn't execute. So when we get into options, and I kind of get a chance to talk about it some more, because that's when we're gonna kind of go into this part of we look at how it's getting paid, and so now we go into the put. So the same option, so the same stock, BBIG. If you bought a put at 250, they're gonna give you $30 to your account. They're gonna hold the 250 for the 100 shares in your account just in case it executes. But this is where it gets really good. So you get paid $29 just to put the put option on. All right. If the price doesn't hit your number, you keep the money from the put, and they don't take your money out your account. So you just made $29 that week just for putting the trade up. Now we all know we can't predict the market or whatever else, but if you do this consecutively, you can make $29 every week just doing this. Hypothetically, you can if you know how to read stock charts, if you know how to actually look at the stocks and actually take it serious, you can literally make $29 a week putting options in and puts and making sure you just make guaranteed money by your option never executing, you keeping the premium they give you for buying the put. And this is what's crazy. On a cheap scale, for a $400 investment, you could be making $116 a month. In a year, that's $1,300 a year off a $400 investment, and the rate of return on your money is stupid. I'm not going to be stupid and just sit here and act like this is a perfect world. But now let's look at this. If you only get 50% of it right, you still make $700 off $400 in a year, and it's automated. You don't have to do nothing. All you got to do is know how to read the charts, and you're good to go. If you have, and so we go back over here. I'm gonna take you back over the option strat because I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you how they already got it set up where you can actually visualize and see what's gonna happen. 1 second, I gotta move it over and get it right because I'm doing it a little different. All right, y'all can see that. Can y'all see that? It need to be bigger.
Yes.
Need to be bigger.
It's a little blurry. Okay, it's getting better.
A little better.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, so y'all see that, right? So this line represents the price of where it is right now, right? So you're gonna spend $250 right here on this right here, but you're gonna hold $250 because you're gonna have to have the money for the put in your account, but they automatically gonna give you $7 in your account. Again, all the numbers are not going to be the same. It depends on your strike date. The premium goes up as the strike date goes out. But this chart is a chart that shows you when you got problems and how much money you're gonna make over the period of the actual option and either if it's a put or a call. So we're gonna get in and actually look at exactly how we're gonna get in and actually look at how these numbers look over the next couple of weeks and what you're supposed to do about it. But you see where it says net credit? So that's automatically they're gonna give you $7, right? For you buying the trade. You gotta hold 200 in collateral. This max loss of 193 is really not a loss. You gotta understand that 193 is just if you have to buy the stock. If you have to buy the stock, then you ain't lost because when you doing a put, all they doing is selling you another equity that you can turn right back around and sell, and you can turn it right back around and make money off of. So you could actually buy 100. You could buy 100 shares of this if you get your put. Buy them at your price. If it's a stock that you read on the chart and the price bounces up and down, well, you bought it when it was low. When it goes back up, you can sell it when it's high and still make your money back because you actually own the stock with a put. You see what I'm saying? And with a call, you really not trying to own the stock. But with a put, you're gonna actually get the stock with a put because the way they execute puts. So you're gonna actually get the stock. But if you get the stock, and this is the part I'm not very versed on yet. It's called covered calls. You see what I mean? I got the one of the other guys. They out of town right now. They're going to we're gonna talk about that with them, cause that's the part like they got a part like called covered calls. I know about it. I've been studying. I'm looking into it, but I'm not the person to talk about it yet. But the covered calls is when now that you don't got 100 shares of stock from the put, you can actually take them 100 shares and actually put them back on the market while you holding them and let somebody else pay you a premium to use your shares to create your own options. Therefore, when you create your own options, you get paid the premium. Then if you execute the options, you sell it for a higher price than what you bought it, so you still make money. And all in all, one of the things that we don't figure out is if you can get 10 of these actually running, up and running, and basically own 10 stocks that $400 a piece, some of the better ones make a better return. The bigger your money, the bigger it is. But $4,000 can basically generate you $17,000 if you know what I'm saying. If you go by the actual numbers, if you can hit the numbers 50% of the time, you're still looking at $8,000 a year off a $4,000 investment, which is almost doubling your money. You know what I mean? And it basically takes, when you look at it, these are the small cheap end stocks. These are the stocks that are $1, $2, $3, like BBIG. I bring it back up over here. BBIG is a $2.50 stock. We ain't talking about a stock that's $60, $70. The numbers get bigger, but as the premium becomes, what you have is you're going to be making more money. Henceforth, when you look at somebody like Warren Buffett, you got 3 million shares of Bank of America. It's a little bit more, and you take 3 million shares and you put them out there every week on covered calls, collecting money off of them. just for putting so the calls, and if people calls don't happen, you get to keep the premium that you actually got from putting the calls out there, and you got covered calls, and then you can also short the own his own stock, but he never have to sell the stock because he know that the stock price ain't gonna move. Companies that are worth more valuable, their prices don't move, so people just collect the premium from somebody, maybe getting it right, maybe getting it wrong, but people are just collecting the money off stocks they're holding, as well as while they're holding the stock, if the stock goes up, they're collecting the gains on that, as well as they're taking the stock and basically using it like a house where they actually put the stock out there for it to pay for itself. Because if you collect enough premium on either end from puts or calls, eventually you don't pay for the stock because you get free money. And as you keep doing it, it breaks down, and all you got to do is keep, instead of just really trying to buy the stock, you basically trying to buy it to have options. So this is why you've heard us say in the last couple of weeks, man, I'm only buying them at 100 at a time, because this is why. $200-300 can turn into a revenue generation stream where you can pretty much guarantee that each option can bring you at least $50. If you got 10 of those out there, that's a $500 cash flow that you can keep picking over and over and over again. Option Strat, it's a website, man. That's why I gave it to y'all, everybody. It's a website, and I hope everybody go over there and look at it, because you can take any stock equity on the market, put it into their platform, and they will advise you on what you can make off of it. Nobody really knows what's going to happen, but that's what happens when we're an investor, is we're trying to speculate and say we think this is how this going to go up, and this is how this going to happen. But what's happening is, when you start to look at it, this is how institutional investors are making money outside of just the stock price going up and down. You know what I mean? It takes some practice, it takes some discipline, because you got to know how to look at the charts, and it's not just on hearsay, because you look at something like Chevrolet. And I'm gonna quote I ain't gonna do Chevrolet because that's a bad one. I'm gonna do something like Ford. You look at Ford, the stock price of Ford, and the stock price of Ford is $16.86 right now. If somebody put in a put, it says the stock gonna go down to $9, nobody, unless something catastrophic happens, and you go and collect your money off that put, because if you was to go do a put for, I'm gonna put it up on the screen and show you, and we're not gonna do this one that way. Yeah, you can see it. No, you can't. Hold on one second. I'm gonna put it up on the screen and show y'all. That way everybody will be able to see what's going on.
I haven't seen the screen yet, but are you basically saying that when you put out your puts or your calls, basically you just put them out to where the forecast is so crazy, you just don't have to worry about it at all, and all you do is just collect.
Keep going.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, is that
all you trying to do is collect premium.
That's what I'm getting at, is that, so you're not worrying about really what happens to the stock so much.
Not at all. Not at all. Because you get paid a percentage if you can look at the numbers right. And why do you, like, it goes back into, you can still have stocks and buy them, but if you have those stocks, now you have another place to use them. So if you have 100 shares of Tesla, Reggie, in your portfolio, you're not gonna sell them. Well, you could put them out on the option market and grab a premium off the stocks.
So you're just leveraging them.
That's it.
because you have 100.
That's it. And you get paid. You set the price for what you want to either sell or buy. You see what I'm saying? You set the price for what either you sell or buy. So even if you had to buy more of the actual stock, you already like the stock.
I understand.
You see
So,
what I mean?
and instead of the people on the other side making these puts and calls, because people make money on options because the whole idea behind, and I don't think that this, I don't know if this was said maybe before I got here, but the idea is, there's a whole lot of people out there making big money on options because they're just paying for a contract. The contract is usually for in groups of 100.
Correct.
So the thing is you're not paying for 100 stocks because you can't afford 100 stocks, but you're paying for the contract. And the most that you can lose is the contract. And if you lose the contract, the thing is that's money that went into the ether. The ether goes to the bank. The bank is whoever put that 100 stocks up in the first place. So what you're doing is, once you get, if you don't own 100 of any particular stock, this doesn't work for you. But once you own 100 of whatever particular stock, then you become the bank.
So guess what, Reggie?
That's the correct statement, yes or no?
That's correct.
Okay.
So guess what, Reggie?
I don't know what you mean by that, but okay.
So
I'm guessing.
So guess what? This is where it gets even gangster and fun and more beneficial for the common man. Once we master this, you don't even have to own the stock. They got a way where you don't even have to own the stock. You can buy an option and leverage an option. You can technically buy an option, and that's why I said some of this. I'm gonna let somebody, let a couple people come in and explain it. But you can buy an option that's out so many years and turn around and use that option to leverage your shares to still make buy print to still leverage the option as you got 100 shares to collect premium off another option. You got what I'm saying?
I'm getting it, I guess.
So they have this thing called a naked call, naked put. With a naked call, you may buy Tesla 2 years out at a strike price that may be, say, $100,000. But while you hold that option, you can take that option and put it on the cover and put up your own option with that option that you have. And that option that you have, well, you still don't own the 100 shares. You don't own none of the stock. You just have options out there. But what happens is, if you do it, you basically say you do a cover. Say you do a put say you sell your option and the thing hit. You have to pay the price at your option rate for the whatever it is, whatever the rate of the option is. Now, if it's out of them, if you owe money, you got to pay the whole price. So you got to go buy 100 shares at whatever price that is. But they have a way for you not to even have to own the shares to be able to still leverage this system. That's how crazy it gets when you get into options. So you can literally take BBIG, go buy one option for 2 years out that is going to be a crazy number, and it's going to hit. Now you consider to have 100 shares of that particular stock. You can actually go out and place covered call bets on that option, hoping. And if you set your covered call right, or you set your call up the way you're going to actually set it up, you put it out there on the market. If you hit it, if it's set up right by reading the chart and you know the numbers and the parameters and the back charting of what's going to happen, you can actually pay for the option with the premium that you receive off the covered call that you actually put out there. So if you buy an option for 3 years, you technically for almost 2 years and as long as nobody hit your number, technically you can take that option and leverage it for 2 years before it's time to sell it, because they have this chart here to tell you how long you have to hold it to when your money, because it even tell you your break even point. If you look on the screen right now, it tell you on this Ford thing, when do you break even? If the thing, if you was doing it as a put and you thought it was gonna go to 17, you're gonna do a 17 put, like your break even is 1602 where you get your money back. So it breaks down how you get all your money back, but you wind up if you collect the premium over a 2-year time consistently, you actually pay for the stock itself, have the money in your pocket, and you can still actually execute the option if you choose, or you can just cancel it and go find something else and just do the same thing over and over again. So the more money you have in your trading account, the better stocks that you can pick, because the big stocks like Tesla and all this, Amazon, them stocks don't move. You see what I'm saying? So if they move, it's so small, but it's gonna go right back up. So this is how they're collecting money consistently with holding option. You see what I'm saying? You with me, Reggie?
I'm not the only one here, man.
Oh no, I'm just saying I know Nicole here, but I ain't seen her moving.
I don't know what's going on with my camera. So I'm here.
Well, y'all with me? Nicole, you with me?
Yes.
So this is the whole thing behind options, is to change directions from just stocks. Cause again, if you look right here on this forward play, technically you only got to put you gonna get a $98 credit. All right, but you're gonna say that 4 is gonna go to 17. So to put you the number 17 on the screen, that explains where you think that the stock is gonna go. You see what I'm saying? And so the 17 says you're gonna put a $17 put on here to expire on April 22nd. So if the stock goes to, if you put a $17 put on here, if you look up, if the stock goes to 1870, let's just say 1850 by April 22nd, let's just say it go to the 8th. You looking at, you see what I'm saying? That's $86 of profit plus what you could have made. But you might just want you basically just want to keep the $100 or whatever else. But if it goes into the money where you actually make money, of course you want it because you bought it at 17. So you take the profit that you made off the shares going up, and you actually keep the shares, and then you can turn around and flip them and make your money. You see what you getting where I'm getting at, Nicole?
I do.
Gotcha. Cause so that's why the more money you have in your account, the more you trade, and that's why this little bit of money can actually change, because you don't technically have to have a whole lot of money, because like that, what I've figured out is if you get a set of stocks, maybe 15 to 20 stocks, and you can get 10 of them running consistently like this, that's $17,000 a year. And this is how hedge funds are making money off slinging options. And that's pretty much all I got for y'all today. How y'all week been?
Busy. I was the only administrator all week. So it was busy.
Well, that's a good thing,
But
Reggie.
other than that,
How was your week, Reggie?
Busy also, but good.
That's good.
Things are coming to fruition. So you keep you guys keep what's the term? Visualizing.
What you mean?
yeah, right.
Manifesting.
Oh, manifesting.
That's
Okay.
manifesting.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Sorry, I'm so pragmatic.
What you mean?
But you guys do it for me, and
you know I keep y'all in the prayer box, baby.
But oh no, it's I'm not. I don't mean prayer. I'm all about prayer, but the manifesting stuff is a little weird. for me. But that's all right. That's just because I'm so pragmatic.
What
But
you mean?
I just mean I'm a pretty pragmatic individual.
I don't even know what that one means.
Not
Not
a bad
really.
thing. You're not
Realistic,
you rely on the facts in front of you.
yeah.
Mhm.
You're not necessarily a glass half empty person or anything like that. It's just
You're just practical.
Mhm.
Yeah, just practical.
Yeah, I get it.
You get these just I don't know what's going on with my camera. It is so funny. Like it's like I turned the camera back on and the screen is just black. So
That's all right.
I don't know what's going on with me and technology today.
Yeah,
It's
but
not.
it is
We can still hear
actually.
your cheerful voice.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I said we can still hear your cheerful voice.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
I thought I saw Sequesta creep in here for a
I know.
She did.
I was gonna text her.
She crept in and crept out. She like she what you call it. But yeah, so the thing is that's what that's the big thing going on there, man, is earning options. Cause this is where a lot of people are making I ain't gonna say a lot of people. This is the world where they're making money at without even worrying about what happens in the market. Because uh with options, a bear market or a sideways market is actually better than a volatile market. Because especially when you see, like with the GameStop thing, that's what really happened with that GameStop thing because everybody was shorting GameStop, and then the retail traders came in and messed up the short. So they was collecting all this money on GameStop and just from the premiums. And then when they had to buy all those shares, and then the shares ran up. They actually still made money, even though they spent it to the people. Like the shorters lost a lot of money. When they shorted, all they had to do was go buy the stock. All they had to do was own the stock. So they turned right back around and was able to sell the stock on the market for a higher price once they had bought it from shorts. This is why they did really. You notice they never really said that they actually lost money because of the simple fact that they actually made more money because the retail traders pushed the stock price so high. If you really go back and look at it, this is why the options that was out there made it where the shares just changed hands and people have made a whole lot of money off of it.
That's true, Franco, but it actually depends on how long you waited as an institution. Because when you shorted that stock and people realized that it was shorted beyond bankruptcy, they decided to hold it. And once they did that, that drove the price up.
Mm-hmm.
See, those people that were shorting the stock, they bought a contract hoping that they were not going to have to pay a dime for it.
Correct.
And that's when all the retailers got together and said, hey, if we hold it and we drive up the price, these people that thought that they were going to get it for free are going to be forced via supply and demand to buy it at a certain price. Now, most of these institutions, the big ones, they don't move that fast, especially not as fast as the retailers. That's a good thing under most circumstances because that just means that you do your research and you plan before you make your moves on stocks. But the flip side of that is that the retailers band together on Reddit, and it was the group called Wall Street Bets that decided to do this. I did a lot of research on these guys. And same thing happened with AMC. But they held on to it. And because they held on to it, and the thing is, the game still is not over. But there was a time last year where it went up very, very high. And it just became a reverse stock trade. So if you're an institution and were forced to buy back and said, hey, it's end of the quarter, we have to show something to our clients. Okay, let's call it a day. And even though we were gonna do $0, we're gonna buy it back at $89 a share. And we're talking, hundreds of thousands of shares. So they buy back at $89 a share. As long as the apes, that's what they call themselves, the people in Reddit, as long as the apes keep hodling, which is holding on for dear life, as long as they keep holding and keep driving up the price, then that institution that was forced to buy those back at a loss, yeah, they can just throw them right back on the market, make their money back, and then some.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a time, just like any other thing in the stock market, where you get diminishing returns. So if they bought, just like people that are buying houses right now at the top of the market, if you're being forced to buy at the top of the market because you just feel like I got to get out of my apartment or something like that, you will pay for it because I see probably within 3 years or so, these people that are buying these houses at ridiculous premiums, I don't think houses are going to keep going up. I think ultimately they're going to switch up and start coming back down. They're going to correct, and that's just a market correction. There's nothing against the house. It's nothing against these stocks. It's just a market correction. And when the market correction happens, you're stuck with the bag. And that has happened with GameStop, and it has happened with AMC already. They peaked around 2020, and there's still people that are out there holding, because I remember I bought AMC at like $8 a share, and it went from 800 to from 8 to well over $400 once they started holding on to that stuff. And I learned the lesson the hard way. I was an idiot, and when I saw it going down further, I was like, oh man, I'm looking at a loss. Let me sit tight until it breaks even. So I sat tight until it broke even, and I got rid of it. And I should have.
Reg, you want to know something funny? You want to know something funny?
What's funny, Franco? What's funny?
I had 1,000 shares. I bought at $2 last year, and I sold them because I thought it wasn't gonna move. It didn't move for a long time. I was so mad when I saw them $400 go up. I was so mad. When I say I was so mad, when it moved to $7, I wanted to sell them. I was so mad.
It's all about opportunity, man.
So Reggie, you don't let him bring up the past. He was very upset about that last year. It was other people in the group. They all was in the same boat. I didn't buy the stock, Reggie. I was gonna do it, but
I was so mad.
But knowing me, I would have held on to it.
I didn't buy it for everything else. I mean, I bought it because I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan of AMC. You know, I just love AMC. So.
Oh no, I'm just saying it was. I remember when that was a big thing. It's I have teachers at my job who are into stocks, and they were going crazy because some people sold and just not. And then when it did that, and people were at work sad, but I kept going back and forth with them about should I buy in, and I just didn't do it.
I'm pissed off right now about NIO.
Yeah. What is NIO?
NIO is now over $20, over $20 a share, just a little bit over $20 a share.
Mm-hmm.
And last week it was what, $8?
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere between $8 and $13, and I could have easily been like, ooh, because right on the tip of my tongue, man, let me just spend a little bit because that was sandwich money.
Mm-hmm.
It's still like 40% down from its high, so it's still heading up. But by the time I got around to it, because I was so busy doing all this other stuff, I was like, man, it's already moved up on me, and so because that's all I really got is sandwich money. But luckily I'm in a situation now where it looks like I should be getting some more money coming in here soon. So. With that being said, I'm now in a position. Okay, I think I can make a few stock buys and things like that. And even though NIO is Chinese market, I think that they're going to be the next baby Tesla, because Tesla is an inflation hedge now. That's ridiculous. Have you seen Elon Musk? They just took all the cars just went up 10%.
Yeah, a lot of the EV manufacturers are actually raising the price on their cars because of the simple fact that the supply chain issues are caused. That's actually what happened to Rivian. Rivian had to, because they were the first ones to kind of raise the price, and they kind of messed up their sales because they raised the price on their cars and trucks to.
They did it because they were stupid, though.
Why you say that?
Somebody up there was really stupid, and on top of raising their price, they raised it ridiculously, and then they turned around and a week later brought the price back down because so many people got stirred up over it.
Well,
That's wishy-washy. That's wishy-washy management, and that really caused their stock to tank. And
Yeah.
remember, I'm a huge Rivian fan.
yeah, it tanked really bad because of that, you know. But that's also why Tesla has had to adjust their prices. Well, like all the EV manufacturers, the cars are going up because the craziest part about it, all the parts come from over there with all the drama going on.
That's true, but Elon Musk does not really have to, because of everything else that Elon Musk is involved in. He does not have to keep his price stable or lower it or whatever. I mean, he could lower the price if he wanted to. Only thing he'd do is piss off his shareholders, who are people like me, a little bit. But it's not like it's not going to put the company in harm's way, because Tesla has its hands in so many other things. But Elon just decided to make a point and say, well, we're not going to, because he could very well keep the price low. No problem. I guarantee he could do that, because what do you call it? His company is kind of evergreen now. Remember how I said it's too big to fail? What I mean by evergreen is that as a company, even though inflation's going up, there are so many resources, and he has so many other things like the SpaceX, the solar company, all these things. He could sacrifice, if he needed to, he could sacrifice a queen in the car industry just to keep a market share. But he doesn't have to do that, and he just showed us that because he flexed and did across the board 10% price increase on everything with wheels, and the market didn't budge on it.
Well,
And that's called the ultimate flex. That's the big inflation hedge, because he knows that there's so much value embedded in every vehicle that he makes that he could. I mean, I guarantee he could keep jacking that price up, because the thing is Ford. Ford is making a mess with that right now with the Lightning, because of the dealers. The dealers are stepping in and putting ridiculous price hikes on it. But the dealers at best just get fined a little bit. And the thing is that when people have a bad experience at a Ford dealership, they don't blame the dealership. They blame the company. And the company and dealership are actually two separate entities, but most people don't know that. And so Ford is working hard to try, and they are about to make a separate, they're calling the electrical vision the Model E, the Model E division. And they are keeping their gas line a completely separate entity, and they're going to be lobbying immediately to do the same thing that Tesla's doing, to get rid of that law, because there's a law in every state that says that the direct manufacturer of vehicles cannot sell directly to the client. It has to go to a dealer. And dealers have been making so much money off the middle and providing bad experiences, the stock has been suffering. And Tesla says, hey, other than the Cybertruck, everything that Tesla has said that they're going to do, they do. And if you want a Tesla, you can just put money down, and usually within about 30 days you can get whatever Tesla you want. So that's really and that's why he can raise the price, because all these other car companies, whether it's Rivian, Ford, GM's been promising this Hummer for over a year, all these places, the experiences that people that want that car are so bad that these car companies have been doing things old school. Remember back in the day when you'd go to the auto show and you'd see a futuristic, the new Corvette or the new Trans Am or something like that, and you're like, ooh, man, that's going to be so nice on the road. And then you wait 3-4 years, and something that looks about half-assed that shows up on the road, and they never fulfill their promises. The big three have never fulfilled their promises, and now it's coming back to bite them in the butt. So those will not be those stocks will succumb to inflation. I do not believe that Tesla's will, not anytime soon.
I got a question for y'all, for you and Nicole. So let me ask you, do you see the landscape changing to where the old manufacturers are about to go away? And when I say that, just like what you was just saying, Tesla's the only one, and all the other EV companies are trying to do direct to consumer, just like Tesla. So, do you?
But they can't. Not by law, they cannot.
Well,
So they're lobbying for change.
Well, I'm gonna say this to you: any new company can, but existing companies can't. Because Rivian, they're actually having the same model where they're going to actually sell direct to. They're going to have like the mock dealerships where you order online and sell too. The old guys like Tesla, like Honda, Ford, Chevrolet, they can't do it because they act their company the way it's based. But do you think, because like when we look at places like Carvana and all these places now, Carvana's basically the same thing. You order it offline, they just have a storage place for it. When you go and look at the new age of actually buying cars, it may not be dealerships involved anymore because everything is going direct to consumer. When you look at Amazon, Amazon is basically the companies offering this stuff online direct to consumer. Like
it's politics, man,
Yeah.
and this is where that comes into play, because they're going to have to find a way to get past law, or find a way to work around it. Like places like Carvana, where they've got like backyard deals with some of these with the suppliers and things like that, where it's pretty close to a single purchase arena.
Mm-hmm.
It's much less than a dealership, but I don't even think that is going to help the industry. The industry is going to go through a pretty big, nasty change, and but the thing is, it's that paradigm shift is just going to get rid of an industry here in the U.S. It's not the same thing everywhere else in the world, but here in the U.S. We are going to lose yet another industry, and that industry is the middleman car dealership. That industry is on the way out.
So,
they know it. That's why they're fighting tooth and nail to keep these companies selling through.
So what do y'all think about, like with Auto Finder, like with credit unions, so credit unions, they're like the middleman too, because you could just go right on through your credit union and have them to find whatever particular car you're looking for. And you don't ever have to go to whatever dealership.
Yeah, but they're still using a dealership.
Yeah, they still using it. It's
still
still,
using
it.
it's still the same.
They just make it
process.
transparent for you.
Yeah, it's still this. Like in a sense, Nicole, you're still talking about the same process, online shopping, because they're basically going to show you some bunch of cars, and they're just going to get it for you and do the deal. You don't really
Right.
technically have to go to a dealership, but they are buying the cars from a dealership.
From the dealership.
Yeah, because most banks don't have like car lots. They just going to a dealership and they got preferred dealers where they actually have prices already set. Like, this is how much we gonna make. This is how much y'all gonna make, and everybody get paid. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Because everybody's basically going to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
So then too, BMW have a new car called, I saw it when I went into the dealership a couple of weeks ago. And so they have a BMW i4. It looks just like a Tesla.
Yep.
Just like it.
I wouldn't say that, but yeah, they got four wheels.
I mean, Reggie, that's my opinion.
All right.
Yeah,
But go ahead.
I saw it too.
BMW looks a whole lot nicer than Tesla.
It does. That's what I'm saying. I'm a BMW. I'm a Beamer girl. So yes.
I've owned 4 BMWs, and I don't think they'll never make a BMW look as bad as a Tesla. I think Teslas look horrendous.
They do.
But that's what they want to do. I mean, and there's plenty of people that are down for that. That's not that. I like cars, And because I like cars, it'll be a long time before I warm up to something like a Tesla. And that might be Tesla's downfall if they don't get with the program and start appealing to people. Because I truly believe that Tesla might lose out on the Cybertruck between that terrible demo where when they threw the ball and cracked the glass and they said it was supposed to be bulletproof. I don't know if you guys remember that a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Between that and they keep promising it. It was supposed to have been delivered this year, but they're saying that it's going to be up to 2 years out. And all these other companies that are gunning for it, because trucks are actually the biggest market in the U.S. Trucks and SUVs, okay? And all Tesla's got is cars, and they're equipped. The Model X, I wouldn't call it an SUV. It's not a big car. It doesn't ride high. It looks like just a big sedan.
It's a car where they expanded the top frame. That's
what
is it called?
They might lose because if people have a choice right now, Tesla is the only choice. Because all these people that are getting frustrated with dealerships, they're getting frustrated with these designs that have been out for 3-4 years. They keep promising them. They can't deliver. Nobody's delivering these except Tesla. So people are right now, literally right now, because of these gas prices, putting your order in for a new Rivian, putting your order in for a new Ford Lightning, putting your order in for that's not going to ease your pain at the pump right now. But you can order a Tesla, and in 30 days you'll have a Tesla, and then life will get better for you at the pump. That's what's keeping Tesla going. At least their car division. Okay, like I said, but I think that
life is not good. Life isn't good for me at the pump right now.
Oh yeah, you probably about $150 because I know mine about $70.
Yesterday.
I haven't taken my car to the pump yet. I refuse to. I haven't done it yet this year.
Really?
How the hell you do that?
I mean, what type of car do you have?
Sitting in the garage. I just got tags for it. I ain't even taken it.
Wait a minute, hold on, for a whole year? How you tell me that hustle?
I drive my truck.
Oh,
you drive your truck?
My truck. You've seen my truck.
Yeah.
Frank?
Yeah. Okay.
No, nobody. I ain't driving my car for. I don't. It's a fair weather vehicle. I only drive it when it's nice out anyway.
That's your car. Okay, so your truck. But I'm for sure your truck is at least 100 to fill up. Are you not?
It's a Honda. It's a Honda Ridgeline. It's a truck, but it's built on a unibody frame. So it's not a. I don't know if you understand that, but it's still it's a truck that is built like an SUV. So it handles like an SUV. You can't haul big boats. It only has like 5,000 pound capacity. So you can't treat it.
I know what it looks like.
You have to treat it like an SUV. Even though it has a bed, you have to treat it like an SUV. And it's
remember I told you I'm a car person too. Yeah, I know the type of car it is.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying it's terrible at that pump. If I could buy a scooter tomorrow, give me a scooter. Give me a scooter.
No, those BMW i3s are selling dirt cheap now.
Really?
I know, but I just wouldn't want to have another
electric car. Have had electric cars for years, man. The i3, the little one looks like a smart car. Those things have come down in price because they quit production of that last year. Like I said, I know.
Got you.
Well, so you could get you an i3. I would love to get an i8. Remember the ones with the butterfly doors that look super futuristic? They quit making them. The prices are finally starting to come down on those.
Even like with a Tesla, I would, me personally, because I don't like the look of them, but I just wouldn't be in the market for one of those.
But you know what? You know what is selling right now like hotcakes? I just told my good friend about it that actually works at Honda. But my good friend, I just told him because he's been looking for a work truck, and I'm seriously thinking about it because for the business, it's just a tax write-off to get another truck. So I can keep the car and then get rid of the Honda and get the new Ford Maverick, which is a hybrid truck. The Ford Maverick Look, and it's delivering today. And it's
gonna
a
look that up.
hybrid. It gets like 45, 50 miles to the gallon because the engine doesn't draw batteries. So it's fully electric. It just has a generator built in. So you don't have range anxiety. It's going to be years. It's going to be better part of a decade before I go fully electric because of range anxiety.
That's a nice looking little It's a little pickup truck. I'm looking at it now. It's 19,000.
Yeah, you can't beat that, dear. $20,000 for a brand new truck.
Yeah, it's brand new.
Can't touch it, and well equipped. It's only 26.
Oh wow,
Nice.
that
That's
is.
real nice.
Yep.
Now, like I would ride around with. I could do this.
4 doors. It's a 4-door
Yep.
truck. Yeah, with a small bed, and it's got a lot of little things in it going on in it, and you can't touch it on gas mileage.
I'm not a fan of Ford, but
You got to get some of that. Some of these things, like with BMW. I'll be BMW till I die, but I just said, forget it a couple years ago, and I was like, there wasn't anything making me happy that was made by BMW, so I just bit the bullet and decided to go to Benz. And
now if Nissan, I was a Nissan girl for many, many, many years before I went into it was Nissan. So if Nissan comes out with something, of course, I would definitely go back to Nissan.
The Nissan Leaf, everybody and their mom's got one of those here.
Okay, let me look that up, Reggie, because I'm not for sure what that looks like.
Nissan Leaf, all electric cars, just a little city pusher because it only gets like 120 miles of range, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They're cheap now. You can buy those used dirt cheap. We're talking like Ford Escort money.
You said Ford Escort?
Yeah, like Ford Escort money. But Nissan, I'll tell you, Nissan makes the most amazing sports car like ever made.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I've had a couple of Pathfinders back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, those things are such guzzlers. Such guzzlers. Those Infinities are the same thing,
I mean, it's the same company. I mean, I had a Maxima.
They look good, but they just don't. They don't get the job done, and they cost too much to maintain and to drive.
Let me tell you, the speed that I had on that Maxima that I had, I mean, it's pulling because I raced somebody in that car too. I my days of doing that. I don't do that anymore. But it was fast. The engine in it.
I know. Hey, back in the day in Atlanta, having a Maxima is like having a Dodge Charger today.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Reggie. I mean, yes, and I'm telling you, I had two more payments before my car was paid off on my Maxima, and it was a 2006 Maxima, and the engine went out. And we knew that engine was about to go. And I couldn't believe it because that was a brand new car. I bought it brand new, and that happened in because I bought it it was a 2006, but it was a like the loaner car. The demo, it was a demo. And so I actually bought it in 2007. And so I was getting ready to pay